Here's some ports I think we need on the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch is an amazing console. No one can say otherwise now, right? Yeah, okay. If you can, well, stop it. But yeah, there's already some amazing games available on the Switch, and there's also some awesome ports already available on the Switch as well. So, you know, they're not adverse to bringing older games to, you know, this more modern console. But here's some games that we haven't seen yet that I really want to be playing on the Nintendo Switch. So first up is Viewtiful Joe. Viewtiful Joe. Who remembers this? I'm going to just say this really quickly. A lot of these games are actually GameCube games, and I only realized that after I'd wrote down the list of games that I wanted. But anyway, Viewtiful Joe is like a side-scrolling kind of platformy fighter game. It's like a cel-shaded style game. It's a little bit weird. You've got like slow motion. It was very cool. I remember when it came out and I was blown away, like looking at it in the Nintendo magazines as I used to do, and I was like, oh, I have to get this. And I'm pretty sure I had number 1. I may have skipped 1 and had 2. I can't remember. It was either one or the other, but they were both basically the same. Number 2 didn't really introduce anything new. So yeah, Viewtiful Joe 1, very cool. I'd love to see like a HD remaster of this, because it was a little bit muddy with that sort of cel-shaded kind of ness, you know, like I found like it was a little bit too much going on in the foreground and the background, but I reckon if they HD'd it, it would look really cool, and it was definitely a fun game. Next up is one of my favorite series ever, Resident Evil. Yeah, I love Resident Evil, and we've got Resident Evil 0, we've got Resident Evil 1, we've got Resident Evil 4, amazing, we've got Resident Evil 5, 6, Revelations 1 and 2, where's 2 and 3? Like, where is Resident Evil 2 and 3? Like, come on. I'm not expecting the remasters or the remakes. You know, I'm not expecting the remakes from a few years ago. Even the old school ones, if they just like HD made them, kind of like how they like upscaled and like made better textures for 0 and 1. I would love to have Resident Evil 2 and 3, the originals, on the Switch, because it just really bugs me that we've got 0, 1, 4, you know, and then so on. It's like, what? I'm not expecting to get 7 or Village. I'm kind of not expecting that unless it's like a cloud version, but I just want 2 and 3 to complete my collection. I've got all of the other ones. Where's 2 and 3? Come on. Now this is a series of games I've not played in forever, but it just popped into my head and I was like, I have to say this, because as a kid, I loved this game, and that's SSX, the snowboarding game. Specifically, as a kid, I used to play SSX Tricky, which I think was, is that number 2? I'm not too sure. I can't really remember. I haven't played these in a long time, but this is a downhill snowboarding game. It was so good. You could race. It was all about doing tricks. At least that's the premise, right? And it was just really fun. I loved going down those hills and like busting out all the tricks that I could until I got to the very bottom. It was just so much fun, and I really liked that kind of whole snowboarding thing. And to be honest, I've not played any snowboarding game since then. And yeah, I know there's a few going around, and there was one that was meant to be coming to the Switch, and I think it kind of got cancelled or something. I'm not too sure. But SSX Tricky, if they like HD remastered that would be amazing. And along the same vein is Tony Hawk's Underground. Tony Hawk's Underground is my all-time favorite Tony Hawk's game. I loved that game when it came out. I played it to death. And yes, I know we've got 1 and 2 remasters on Switch. I've got them. I've got them on PS5 and on Switch because I love those games so much. But they are like time trialed, so you only have like 2 minutes per like map, unless you go into like the free run thing. But Underground had a full-blown story. You weren't just busting out tricks and trying to collect skate and stuff like that. Underground was like a full-blown, you know, you start off at the bottom. You're a guy or a girl trying to make your way up through your skateboarding career, and there's a full-blown storyline. It's open world. You can get off the board and like run around and stuff, and it was so cool. You have to get sponsorships. Like, I loved that game and I played it to death, and I really hope that's the next thing for Tony Hawk's. I'm not too sure if it's ever going to happen, but I would love an HD remaster on the Switch. Like, just give it to me. Now this is another one that's kind of already in development, but as far as I'm aware, it's not coming to the Switch, and that's Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, number 1. Well, at least of like the more modern ones. I'm not talking about the old school, like really old, like side-scrolly ones. I'm talking about like the 3D, like, you know, ones. Sands of Time, I loved that game again. I had it on, I'm pretty sure it was GameCube, and it was just so much fun. Like, it's an amazing game. The combat was amazing. I loved, it was like the first kind of like free running parkour style game that I like played at least. And it was just great that you could run up walls and climb on everything. Think of Assassin's Creed if you've never played Prince of Persia. It is kind of similar to that you can pretty much go and run up and climb and do anything. Like everything you can see, you can go and scale it pretty much if it's within reason. And it was so good. I loved those whole series of Prince of Persia games, but even if they just redid number 1, I'd love that. And now, yeah, like I said, there are talks that it is in production, right? A remake, but as far as I'm aware, it's for like Xbox and PlayStation and PC. I don't think they're bringing it to Switch. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments, but I would love to see this. Right, we're ignoring the first game of this one. We're just going straight into the number 2, and that's Time Splitters 2, because this game was amazing. I loved this game. Me and my friend used to play this game back to back all the time. Like, we'd complete the game and just start again. You know, it was 2-player co-op through the story, and it was just so fun. There was like multiplayer, so it was kind of a bit GoldenEye-esque, where you could just go like head to head and do like kind of I can't even think what it's called, you know, where you just kind of free for all and just try and kill people. But I loved playing through the story with my friend back in the day. And Time Splitters 2, you know, I've just got so much love for that game. And again, I'm pretty sure like whoever owns that IP got bought out, and there's talks that there might be a new one coming at some point. But I would love to see Time Splitters 2 on the Nintendo Switch, because that would be so much fun. And if they brought online to it as well, if you could do online co-op, that would be amazing, as well as just like the online shooting, you know, multiplayer style. And what about Metal Gear Solid? Come on, we haven't seen Metal Gear Solid on a Nintendo platform in ages. You know, I can't even think of when the last one was. I'm thinking of like Twin Snakes on the GameCube. Pretty sure they did one on the DS or the 3DS, can't remember. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid, number 1 and 2 remakes maybe, or Twin Snakes, because I know that was slightly different. If they brought that back, that would be so good. I haven't played a Metal Gear Solid game since 2 or 3. I've definitely not played 4 or 5, and I would love to play those old school original ones again, because I loved playing them as a kid. You know, me and my brother used to play them on the PlayStation, but I definitely had it. I had Twin Snakes on the GameCube, and it's just so much fun. I'd love to get it back into that. Now, this game, so many people are going to hate me for saying this, but I love it, all right? This is probably my ultimate game from this franchise, and that's Star Fox Adventures. I'm sorry, okay? My favorite Star Fox game is Star Fox Adventures. Don't shoot me. I know. I love all the other Star Fox games as well. I really do. And I know Star Fox Adventures wasn't even meant to be a Star Fox game, but I love this game. Like, I played this game to death as a kid, and it holds up today. I've got a GameCube. We've got videos about the GameCube and even about this game on the channel, but I've got a GameCube. I got an HD, like, you know, thingy that is a HDMI cable upscaler, so you can play it on a 4K TV. And well, I played Star Fox Adventures not even long ago, like last year, and it looks amazing still, and it plays amazing as well. This is probably one of my most like wanted games. If they could HD remaster this properly and bring it over to the Switch, I would pay full price for this, like hands down. I'd buy a collector's edition, like just give it to me. Star Fox Adventures, amazing. And another game that I would absolutely, I would love, F-Zero GX. I know we've got F-Zero X on the N64, you know, on the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, which is amazing, by the way. F-Zero X is fantastic. But GX on the GameCube, which was like made with Sega, now that is something else. And that was the last proper F-Zero game we got. And it was almost 20 years ago. Like, what? GX was, I think it was 2003, where we're, you know, going to be going into 2023 soon. So come on, 20-year anniversary, give me an HD remaster, please. Like, what are you doing? Or just give me a new entry, but definitely give me GX as well as a new entry. I'll buy both of them. You know, I will, because yeah, F-Zero, crazy fast racing game if you don't know, and it's just so good. The music's good, the controls are amazing, like the whole game is just fantastic. Now this one I bang on about as much as I can because I want to try and spread the word. There was rumors last year, I think there was rumors this year, whatever, I've talked about it in so many videos, but I want Metroid Prime, all right? I want Metroid Prime 1 HD, I want 2 and 3 as well, just give me the trilogy. Now, there is rumors that this is supposedly going to happen at some point, and I'm pretty sure that it will, because we're still waiting for Metroid Prime 4, and they just have to drop like something in between, right? I'm expecting Prime 4 to come even next year or the year after, and as a stopgap, well, then give us Metroid Prime 1 HD. I'm pretty sure we're just going to get number 1 if we ever do get it, which is a really, it's a big shame because I would much prefer getting the whole trilogy. But even if it's just number 1, just bring it to the Switch, come on. And lastly, we've got Zelda, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess, like one or the other. I mean, for me, it's Wind Waker, but I know I'd get shouted at if I didn't say Twilight Princess as well. I've not played Twilight Princess, so I can't have any opinion on it. I'm sorry. So it would be great if they did bring that, because maybe I'll actually play it. But yeah, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, again, rumors, because, they delayed Breath of the Wild 2 until next year. Maybe as a stopgap, again, we'll get Wind Waker HD or whatever. I would love that, because again, I didn't actually have Wind Waker until like years later, but as a kid I used to go around a friend's house and play it, but I never fully completed that game by myself. I spent hours and hours playing it, but just like sporadically at different points, and I would love to have that game like HD remastered, and yeah, I would love that. And again, Twilight Princess 2 really, because I've not actually played that and I'd like to give it a go. So what do you think? What would be your favourite ports coming to the Nintendo Switch? If you could just pick them out, it might never happen, but if you could pick some games that you would absolutely die hard love to see come to the Switch, tell me down in the comments. Do you agree with any of the ones I've said, or are you like, no, I wouldn't play any of them, Andy? Well, tell me in the comments. Do it. But if you're wondering about what games are definitely coming to the Switch this year that are confirmed and they are on their way, well then go and check out this video just here. Just go and watch this video where I talk about some of my favourite games some of my most anticipated games that are coming to the Nintendo Switch this year. 100% confirmed. They are definitely coming. Go and watch that video and subscribe. Subscribe first and then check this out. Do it.